Hey everybody. So I was doing some research for a video looking at top companies by install base and a lot of other data that I look at almost every day. And I realized that you, my audience, rarely gets to see the process because I cut it all out. So today what we're going to do is we're going to review kind of like the popular real estate marketing companies, but why are they popular? Why are we watching them go up and down in terms of market penetration? And just in case you don't know me or why I'm even like qualified to have the conversation with you as an audience. So I'm a lifetime marketer, 35 years total. I used to run big call centers for companies like AT&T, MCI. I was running the Girls Gone Wild call centers when Joe Francis was in jail. There were 7. It was about 3,000 people globally. And now I run my own company. There's a long history there, but I've done a lot of work in the real estate space. I've consulted with a lot of the top real estate marketing companies, actually almost all of them. And I generally talk about AIO and SEO. What you're going to learn in this video is probably what you like. It's going to be a foundational video for your education about choices that you make as it relates to your real estate marketing future. There's a lot of real estate agents in the United States, about 1.8 million. And of those 1.8 million, there's maybe about total 50, 60,000 that have been in the business long enough and approach real estate as an actual business. Now, if you're watching this video, and that probably means you fall into the business category. So what you're going to think of this video as is a place to understand what's happening with what you're using, whether or not what you're using has a future, whether or not that matters to you, as well as other companies to keep an eye out on, and as a informational setup to potentially watching other videos of mine that will take your knowledge further in terms of what platform might be best for you, why is it best for you, where's the future going, okay? A lot of questions. I'm getting more questions right now than ever before in 16 years of dealing with residential real estate agents about like, what's my view of the future? So without any further ado, and I'm trying to get the data perspective on that. I'm an analyst at the core of it. So I've been analyzing. All right, here we go. What you're looking in front of me is I was just doing some research, and I was actually, I'm doing a lot of research on Follow Up Boss right now because of their changes with their TOCs that's leading to lots of people bailing on them. And they should be bailing on them. So I'm going to make videos and support, and I've collaborated with Go High Level and a top agent using Go High Level, and I'm deep in the process of working with a lot of engineers, getting my Go High Level to work closely in terms of features, the way that Follow Up Boss would work. So I'm doing a lot of research. As part of that research, found an interesting list. These are basically what this tool built with thinks of as competitors to Follow Up Boss. And then it's showing us our gains and losses from these people over whatever the time frame is here. Probably let's just call it 30 days. All right. And then you go down here, and this is what I was getting interested in. This is a list of live sites as recorded by this tool. And as I've said in every single one of these videos, please everybody keep in mind these tools are guesses. They're just guesses. I mean, there's not enough ways to collect data universally accurately enough, but it's good guesses. That's why I use them. It's the 80% representative usually in terms of a data set. Okay, and the other 20%, is it important? Of course it is. Is it important enough to make any major decisions off of? Probably not. All right, so here we go. We've got all of our top website performers, and a thing that's been interesting to me is that over the years, CR Interactive seems to have declined. But I'm observing that off a number on a screen. So now I'm going to take you with me. I haven't looked. I don't know that for sure. I'm just guessing. So I'm going to pause and look. And my guess here would be wrong. This is the usage statistics. So back in 2020, somewhere in the middle of the pandemic, a lot of people, after the pandemic, a lot of people moved over to CR Interactive. Okay. And then really their usage exploded after that, which surprises me, obviously. I wasn't aware of that. Now, why are, my job is to kind of extrapolate the data. That's what I usually do, and then you guys see the very, very end of that data. And here's where I extrapolate. I'm surprised by this because they got sold. I'm hearing lots of complaints about Sierra Interactive customer service. Their CRM is wildly outdated, but they remain cost competitive. They remain the with the way that real estate agents work, everybody, is that and this is fascinating because this tool is definitely outdated. There's many better places a real estate professional could go to for a website. And most people are going to be drifting towards decentralized website strategies, which Sierra Interactive is not. Okay, it's a we try to control everything. The applications you can use are ones that we have what are called APIs for, a gateway to. And if we don't have a gateway, it's possible you can create something, but you're guessing. Okay, you're guessing. And they had a very large list of native integrations for a tool like this, one of the best. I'm on record saying it a number of years ago. The challenge that you have is the competitive landscape is changing almost overnight. Tools like Go High Level are coming in and competing, and Go High Level has 1,200 integrations, not 100. So very, very fast, there's starting to be competitive forces that are having meaningful impacts. And what those competitive forces are really doing, the reason that Go High Level has so many integrations on it, and it's causing such a problem for platforms like Sierra Interactive, is because Go High Level was set up by some marketers, and what they did is they integrated many, many things. They wrapped it into a single place where you can do most of the things that you want to do. Now, it's still not an all-in-one tool, Go High Level, but it's doing a lot of things really efficiently and effectively, and they also made the pricing right. Believe it or not, Go High Level is significantly less to use than a tool like Sierra Interactive. And guys like me can do what's called white label it, and then we can use it, and they've made the pricing so competitive that I can actually charge about what Follow Up Boss charges and add extra features to like a CRM stack, things that you absolutely are not getting right now. Like Sierra Interactive is way behind in the AI game, and Go High Level is not. They have really compelling like voice agents and AI processes. You can literally set somebody up so that they will call your customer after a certain action has happened, and their Go High Level agents are almost perfect. Like they're perfect. That just means that you have all sorts of options with this platform that you don't have with Sierra Interactive. Am I telling you you need these options? No. The reason that agents still probably drift towards Sierra Interactive is the conversation where you theoretically can get what you want done in a single place without having to research all this technology is probably very comforting. It's just not very effective or efficient. And I don't think that it's going to continue to be something that a lot of agents can justify, is my opinion on it. So if you're using Sierra Interactive, you might want to start either one, looking around, or two, having conversations with a provider to go, hey, are you updating the platform anytime soon? Are you changing the fact that your call services out of the platform are wildly expensive? I mean, to give you an example, making calls in Sierra Interactive is about 90% more expensive than making calls on Go High Level. Everybody do the math. Like there's 1,000 other comparisons that could be done. And eventually when I have time, I'll compare platform to platform so that everybody understands what the differences are. In the meantime, if you're trying to figure out if Go High Level or you want to have a deeper conversation about it or any of the things I'm covering, please just call me. My calendar will not remain open forever. Currently, I am still small enough where it makes sense for me to talk to people directly. So take advantage of that and schedule a call with me. It's no obligation. I'm not going to charge you anything. All right. So that's Sierra Interactive. Now, along with these, and it's also a conversation about decentralization, because you look here, Century 21 is agent sites. So these people mostly have two sites because you're doing your Century 21 site, which will do almost nothing for you except be a business card online. And then you're doing your site that you might market off of, which would be something like Real Geeks. Now, Real Geeks is the big boy in the sandbox when it comes to response sites, most likely because, and actually usage has dropped down here, and I would have guessed the exact opposite. I would have thought that Real Geeks would be going up in a tougher market. Instead, it's dropping down, and everybody dropped down, by the way, right in here during the summer months. Okay, and now things are spiking back up for real estate marketing companies, which generally correlates for us the same way that you would expect it to correlate for you as a real estate agent professional. Most likely you're watching your business pick up. People are probably calling you. Marketing seems to be working again. AI calls are coming in. Local calls are coming in. And so you feel comfortable spending some money on marketing. Now, this is a closed loop system. A lot of people have moved to Square to build their websites, which is a closed system. If Square doesn't have it, you don't have it. Additionally, you don't own the website, you don't control the website, nor will you ever. So you can get in and edit the website for sure, but the conversation around, do I have any licensing rights to this website moving forward and thus maintain control and ownership of my content is, I can't believe I've still got to keep saying this for so long. Like, listen, if you're a YouTuber, if you're an Instagram person, don't give up the rights to your content for like a website service like Square. You can put it on WordPress. Do you give up rights to your content when you go on Facebook and Instagram? For sure you do. You really do. But what they do that like Square is trying to say that they do is Facebook and YouTube give you it's like throwing your bait into an ocean versus an incredibly small fishing pond. It's not that Square or sites like it don't have an advantage, but the advantage is for guys like me. It's not for you. It's never for you. Building on Square is easy. It's a drag and drop editor. The features are intuitive. I can build a website in an hour, which is why we as marketing providers use it. But the value to you as the end consumer is limited. And the reason I'm having this conversation over and over again is that both Real Geeks and Ylopo use Square. Okay, they're using Square. They're both using Square because it's so easy and efficient to build websites off it. And if you're just an agent that is going to drive people into a surface level website like the here, I'll just show you what I mean. So you're an agent, right? And you're gonna drive people into this site to, and some of you have been my followers a long time and you already know all this because I've said it before and you're not unfamiliar with it. All right, so let's just go to CBS Realty, okay? And you can see here, we've got two calls to action, okay? Search now, home valuation. Probably, let's see if we can even get a fellow integration in here. Most likely not. Okay, and that's problem number, oh. All right, so no longer is this a Real Geek site. This is incorrect. This is now a luxury presence website. All right, so bad there. So not relevant for the example that we're trying to do. So let's go to creative ones, see if they've also switched over to luxury presence. They've switched over to somebody, it looks like. Let's just take a look. They went to a cell phone website. Okay, so this is them actually going probably for a WordPress website and skipping away from the decentralized, like taking advantage of the decentralized strategy. They're doing a landing page. What does that most likely mean? So let's just do this. And they've got a very, very poor integration, probably of IDX Broker on here. Okay, they just don't have no tech skills, and IDX Broker, for people who don't know how to use it, is a terrible tool. For people like me, developers, it's the best tool. And that's where all of this stuff gets confusing. That's why I cover this with you, is because unfortunately, your job as a real estate agent is to kind of understand what's going on out there in the tech landscape. And I'm going to summarize this for you because I don't want to make this a 10, 15-hour video. What I want to tell you is that the world is going towards a decentralized strategy. That is the only thing that's going to work really well for agents. Ylopo has done a very good job of layering 6 strategies together. So Ylopo is decentralized because they use 6 different layer technologies and are always looking for others to plug into their stack. It's a done for you stack. That just means that they're the ones in charge of it. You don't need to know much. You've got a Ylopo success group on Facebook, and what you should probably count on is to spend a number of hours inside that Facebook group each month if you want to get top value out of the platform. They've done a lot that's unique, again, like in terms of how they use this platform. They have a lot of teachers in there that are unique to this group again. Like you've got 18,000 people in here. You've got people ongoing education, people who've used their system to a high degree of success, people that are using different pieces of their system. They now have added in a call center that goes into their Google Local. There, it goes on and on. So you should be in here using it. I do not know why you'd spend the kind of money that Ylopo costs in and then not necessarily use that platform. Okay, use the Ylopo Success Group. But hey, you know what? There's a lot of realtors that whose overarching thought is, hey, I don't have time. I only have time to go out and sell real estate. And if that's the case, then you are absolutely not leveraging tech the way you should be. You should be able to sell $1 million of real estate in almost any market part-time. And if you're not, then there's most likely tech tools out there that you can use to add efficiencies to your process. And I have lots of clients that do it, so I'm not speaking out of turn. Well, lots may be a slight over-exaggeration. There aren't lots of clients, you know, agents making over $1 million in the country, but I have a few of them, quite a few. So when you start going, all right, so we go here, Agent Fire, Decentralized, EXP Realtor, Broker, Boomtown ROI, very centralized under the KV Core umbrella now, probably called Inside Real Estate. Who knows? They keep relabeling themselves. This may be under the Bold Trails umbrella at this point. I do not know. They have now changed their brand or added 5 different verticals to their brand, which is getting pretty popular in real estate. And I feel like the reason it's popular is 2 reasons. One, everybody's changing their names. Am I seeing tech changes that are synonymous with the name? No. But I will say this, Inside Real Estate is better positioned than everybody else because they have a centralized cloud technology that can update everybody all at once. Now, are they doing that? I have no idea. Are they using that for Boomtown? Again, no idea. Boomtown was never built that way. And you can see here that since their height, Boomtown has lost over 70% of their customers. Okay, it's not surprising. Okay, that was going to happen when they sold themselves to Inside Real Estate. It's 2 different brands: high-end lead generator versus like lower-end team management system. Okay, that's what really Inside Real Estate or KV Core was known for, is managing, like giving you a cheap place to put your agents, and that way they have some kind of toolkit that you can afford as a broker. And obviously there's different levels of brokers. There's your average broker though has between 5 and 10 agents, a rapidly changing roster. They're having a hard time with turnover and attrition. Every once in a while you find somebody who's really figured out the secret and they have 5, 6, 700 agents, thousands of agents. And when they do, they're putting them on tools where they can get seats for cheap or free because they've got 1,000 seats that they want to fill. And that's a very, very big number. Even at $10 a person, that would be a big number. So they're looking for efficient, but at scale and cost effective. So like Boomtown didn't really provide that necessarily on the cost-effective part. KV Core did. So I think the synergy that Inside Real Estate and the CEO was looking for was that synergy. Who knows whether or not they got it. All right. And something else that I'm looking for in here, I'm just kind of making sure that I hadn't forgotten any tools that relate to realtors other than Follow Up Boss as I sit here and get ready to do more drops on my Go High Level integration. All of my content over the next day or 2 is going to be focused on decentralized strategies. And I'm going to close this video because I don't want it to be too long. Because I've still got to keep going through this process, and I don't think I'm going to record the rest of it. This was just a little break. I'm hoping that you guys got something good out of it. But here's the summary. What I'm seeing is this. It is not possible for an average realtor to not have a good decentralized strategy. what I think is the wave of the future, and I think it's been that way for a while, is you finding good vendors that give you as much control as possible. And control is going to be dependent. Like, do you need a website? Or do you need a marketing partner that handles 4 different tools? Somewhere out there, there's going to be kind of like a marketing contractor for realtors that's going to allow you to just use 9 or 10 different things all at once that they can manage for you simultaneously. And perhaps InboundREM will have a division that will eventually do exactly that because there's a massive need for it. There's a need for somebody who manages your decentralized CRMs. There's a need for somebody that manages your decentralized lead hub. There's a need for somebody who understands all the various tools that you guys use, Go High Level, your back-end transaction coordinators, your different websites, your different hyperlocal tools, the 30 directories that you have to be in to get ranked, so on and so forth. In the meantime, though, the conversation is absolutely decentralized. There's no such thing as an all-in-one. There never really was, but some of those tools were really efficient, and you can always sell to a realtor using all-in-one. So I'm going to say that what you need is a decentralized simplification process. That's probably the wave of the future. Whoever can say, we've got our hands in the tools that you need to have your hands in, that's AI related, that's a fit transaction coordination, taking advantage of technology for transaction coordination, also handling a lot of your more basic and maybe even your advanced marketing. All those things combined is going to be the wave of the future. You might get that in the form of an AI assistant, certainly somebody who can do a lot. More likely it is you're going to get in bed with a marketing company that's going to have a lot of those partnerships and tools in place, all under the one roof. The closest thing that would be there right now is probably Ylopo, but there are some close seconds like us. And once again, if you don't know what we do, or you're not sure about what my company provides, because I don't promote myself a lot in these videos. So we do websites, we do most of what I talk about. We build CRMs, we have a customized CRM integration. I'm in the process of beta testing a really cool Go High Level integration that I anticipate is going to be more efficient than 99% of the things that are out and available to realtors and cost effective. So that's kind of like what we do. So anyway, if I've been helpful for this video, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up. You're going to hear me talking a lot about I'm starting to look at the bridge of technology, how things are shifting. I'm starting a podcast that's called The Real Estate Revolution, and I'm also talking about the bridge, the changes that are happening so fast that everybody's having a hard time keeping up with it, right? I'm going to keep up with it for you guys. If I have to sit here all day, every day, over weekends, I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to get out there and have that conversation about how all this stuff is changing. So if you're wondering what this video was, this is really me doing the grunt work and then bringing you along with me on the ride. So I hope you liked it. And if you didn't, good Lord, do me a favor and tell me to focus on my normal review stuff. And I will. I'll never do one of these again. All right. Thank you so much. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Until next time.